A poor, helpless man goes to a restaurant to submit his CV. The person in charge takes his CV and says, "Oh, poor man, do you really think that someone like you could get a job at this restaurant?" Then she looks at her cousin, who has come to apply for a waiter's job, and laughs. The poor man says, "Please, I am extremely helpless. Have mercy on my situation, and do not look only at my condition. Look at my education." The in-charge becomes angry and says, "Here only merit and favoritism work, not poor and helpless people like you." And she crumples his CV and throws it away and leaves. Just then, a disabled sweeper who has been watching everything silently comes, picks up the CV, quietly goes inside, places it among the files in the admin office, and leaves. The next day, when the in-charge is taking an interview of her cousin, she says, "Your interview went well. Wait for our final call." He leaves. Then the madam, meaning the manager, picks up another CV and calls the number written on it and calls that poor man to the office. When the poor man starts entering the restaurant, the in-charge stops him again and says, "You poor man, you have come again? Didn't I refuse you yesterday?" He replies, "But you yourself called me and said that I have an interview." The in-charge is shocked and says, "Are you joking with me?" The poor man says, "All right, maybe there is some confusion," and starts to leave. The in-charge becomes angry, and at that moment, the manager comes from behind and says, "Why are you behaving like this with this poor man? Who gave you the permission to insult people?" The in-charge is stunned and says, "This man came here saying he was called for an interview, which is a complete misunderstanding." The manager says, "I was the one who called this man, because I received a CV that was in a very bad condition. It looked as if someone had deliberately crumpled and thrown it away, and I believe this is your doing. Why are you treating him like this? Aren't you ashamed?" She then apologizes to the poor man and says, "Come to my office." She takes his interview and becomes very impressed. She says, "You are suitable for this job, and you can start duty from tomorrow." The poor man becomes extremely happy and leaves. The next day, as soon as he enters the restaurant, the in-charge and her cousin are standing there and again start mocking him and looking at him with contempt. Just then, the manager comes from behind. The in-charge says, "Nothing. My cousin has come today for the job you were talking about." The manager says, "I'm sorry, but the vacancy has already been filled." The in-charge looks in surprise and asks, "What? And with whom?" The manager points toward the poor man. The in-charge becomes furious and says, "How is this possible? You should have given me favor." The manager gets angry and says, "I am very saddened by the way you treat people. You and your cousin are extremely rude and arrogant, and you look down upon poor and simple people. I do not want someone like you in my team. From today, you are also dismissed from this company." She angrily takes her cousin and leaves from there. Then the manager says to the poor man, "You do not need to worry about this." The poor man thanks her very much and leaves. The next day, when the poor man enters the restaurant, the disabled person meets him and asks, "Did you get selected?" He replies, "Yes." The disabled man becomes very happy and tells him, "Whatever happened, it is because of me," and tells the whole story. "When the in-charge threw away your CV, I picked it up and quietly placed it in the manager's room. That is how you got the call, gave the interview, and got selected." Hearing this, the poor man becomes shocked and emotional, hugs the disabled man happily and says, "Thank you very much." Arrogance and favoritism ultimately lead a person to humiliation. Justice, merit, and kindness always succeed. Who do you consider the hero of this story? Do share your opinion in the comments. If you liked the video, like it, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to share it with your friends. Thank you.